morning, Sister Antonette.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to have you here on campus from the Philippines. And your last name is Lumbang,
Yes.
correct? And you're one of how many siblings?
We're three sisters. I'm the middle child.
Oh, you're the middle child. Shall we talk about the middle child syndrome?
That will take an hour or more.
Or more, yes. And you've been on campus for a couple weeks, have you not?
Yes, this is my second week, I think. I arrived last Sunday, 30th of July.
And did you come for a special gathering?
Yes, I did. I'm here for the annual meeting of the Justice and Peace Promoters of our congregation. And the annual meeting was August 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And Sister Kathy Nolan, our Justice Promoter, has organized several presentations for me to share and talk about the justice issues in the Philippines.
Oh my, that could take a couple days right now, couldn't it?
It
yes.
did.
Is that your work in the Philippines?
Yes, that's a part of it.
Such as, what does it involve for you on a daily basis?
Well, as a justice promoter, a part-time justice promoter, because I have other ministry, I am into past social action initiatives and advocacies, and I'm the one who attend meetings or accompany those who are in the marginalized sector to several other meetings that involves their situations.
Do you use Twitter to communicate with everyone?
No. I don't have Twitter, but I do have Facebook.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I don't do Twitter.
So what is your other ministry besides the coordinator of peace and justice there?
Well, I have a fairly new assignment now. Just a few months ago, I was asked to help in the formation ministry. But a few years back, I am doing pastoral work with the indigenous people.
With what?
Indigenous people, the Ayetas. Indigenous.
That's is that in an Indian group?
No. It's in the Philippines.
Oh.
They're like indigenous people, the Ayetas, the native people.
Yes. The original inhabitants of the island.
Yes.
Or islands.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I've worked in the resettlement area for 2 years before being transferred to this new assignment.
Did you have to learn another language?
Not really, because they speak Kapampangan, our native dialect in Pampanga.
I see. Mm-hmm. And you live in Pampanga?
I do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other sisters living with you?
Yes, because in the Villa Maria Apostolate, there were 2 of us. But majority of our sisters from the Our Lady of Remedies have missions in Pampanga region.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But the home base is?
San Fernando.
Yes.
That's still Pampanga.
That's where the majority. Oh, that's in Pampanga
yes.
also. Oh, my. I'm always jealous of our sisters who have
been there.
Yes. And you remember probably you've been in the congregation now for?
9 years.
9 years. So you knew Sister Attracta?
Yes.
Did you know Sister Donna Markham too?
Well, I haven't met her in the Philippines, but last year when I was here helping out, giving paper around during the general chapter, I did bump into her.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course, Sister Pat Seaman have been.
She was there for our final profession last March.
Wonderful. And she's been off campus, so you haven't been able to see her this time, have you?
I've seen her.
Oh, great.
Because she has a 45 minutes conversation with the Justice and Peace Promoters for our annual meeting.
What fascinates you the most about being a Dominican sister?
I think it would be about the mission that we are all engaged in. Very diverse, just like the sisters. We are diverse people, but we are all working for a mission in our own little ways, in our own realities. And of course the community, 'cause we get a
Yes.
lot of support from one another.
Yes. Well, what is, do you have a specific routine for your prayer life in common?
Yes, a lot.
A lot.
Because in the Philippines, my community, we usually wake up around 5 and have our lauds or our morning prayers at 5:30 in the morning. Then we go celebrate Mass in the parish at 6. Then we have our breakfast. Then we go our separate ways to do the ministry that we are assigned. Then when we go home, I usually go home.
For lunch? Do you go home for lunch?
Yes, sometimes. Sometimes wherever I am, that's where I pick up lunch. But I'm usually home before the Vespers or the evening prayer at 5:30. And after that, we have dinner and little recreation, watching news. Then after all the dishes have been washed and everything, before heading to our rooms, we have our complaint or the night prayer. So that's the normal day.
When do you have the opportunity to share what you've experienced during the day?
It's during the meals.
I bet that's a happy time.
Yes. That's the time that you get to share with the sisters. But of course, it's not that rigid. I mean, the schedule, you can always approach one if you really want to unburden or release something.
Yes.
Or share something, not really a struggle, but a joys as well in the ministry.
Have you ever traveled to Europe?
No, I haven't been to Europe.
Well, your sisters from your chapter are in Norway, correct?
Yes, they are.
And any other foreign country?
We've had Taiwan before.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but just a few years back, it was closed for reasons I really cannot explain well. I don't.
What kind of contact do you have with the sisters in Norway?
It's usually with Facebook because it's easy to connect. Yes. And it's cheaper because it's for free. I think other sisters have Viber, but I don't have that too. But I'm just limited to Facebook. Maybe in the future, but now.
Did you have our Dominican sisters from the Philippines? Did you have them in school?
No, I was a product of public education from grade school until college, university days. So, but the sisters, they know. My father knows them because my father was a former seminarian.
Oh, a Dominican?
No, diocesan. And the remedies, our sister, the Adrians in the Philippines, their mother house is right next to the seminary of the Archdiocese.
So he had known them.
Yes, he is actually a former student of Sister Mary Philip Bryan. Back in the old days.
Oh my heavens.
Well, he just didn't continue.
Yes. Well, give him our best. Yes. And have you had an opportunity to go to the cemetery to see your wonderful remembrance in our cemetery?
I saw that.
Yes.
Yes. We were there the other day.
I would suggest that you pray to Sister Mary Philip because she had such love for you all. I mean, even before you were born, she had love for you. Yes. What part of the sisters' history has fascinated you?
I think the whole thing about the coming full circle for the congregation, because I will be talking about, because I entered when we were still the remedies, and we've had a merger, and I think when going back to the history of the remedies in 1960s, there were always the Adrian Dominicans. Even the prioresses, I've been looking at the pictures here in one of them, and I would see, they've all been there back at home, and it's like, it's really home.
Beautiful connection, is it not? Yes. I can just see Sister Mary Philip elated and happy and filled with joy, without a doubt. Yes. Were most of the sisters in the chapter agreeable about merging with the Adrian Dominicans?
I would think so, but well, I'm not really the one in the know of all the whole process because I was just in initial formation when it happened.
Oh, okay.
But I think for that to push through, everybody would have to agree.
Yes.
So I would say,
well,
yes.
you would feel that or be aware of that somehow. So did your father walk you over to the convent to meet the sisters?
Well, when I did mention to him that I was discerning to enter religious life, I was thinking of another community, not really us.
Mm-hmm.
But then he said, why not try first those who are back home? Because I'm also from Pampanga. So that's when he started to contact one of the sisters who was from our town. And it started that way. He did accompany me going to the convent when it was time for me to have a live-in aspirancy, as we call it.
I bet he's very proud of you.
I think so.
Yeah, and your mother too, right? Yes. So you're close to them.
Yes.
And you can stop at the house anytime?
Well, not anytime, but during the home visits. Yes.
And do you have that once a year? The home visit?
No, not more often than once a year.
Oh, okay.
Especially because it's just near, but it's just an overnight. You don't really get to spend long stretches of days. Unlike we have sisters who live away from, like they need to fly, going to the other region of the Philippines, they get to visit their family longer. But of course, not as often.
Not as often. You could suggest your family move.
I don't think
they wouldn't like that.
I don't think so.
Are your sisters married?
Yes, both of them are.
So are you an aunt yet?
Yes, 4 times over, but all are nephews. 4 of them, all boys. And we were 3 girls.
Oh, yes. I bet you love them dearly.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Have you ever had the opportunity to teach?
Yes, I did in my 4th year in temporary profession. I taught Christian living education for the junior high, and I was the advisor for the grade 10 pupils in our school, in Dominican School of Apalit.
Did any of the junior high students think that you were really one of them?
I don't know. We need to ask them.
But you look very young, is what I mean. Yes.
Yeah.
But you always wear the habit for your ministries, correct?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
we do.
But not the white habit, I understand.
Yeah. Well, for us in the school ministry, we would always wear the white during Mondays and Fridays, and we can wear the brown habit in between. But it's really up to the sister. Nothing is written black and white. You just wear this on. It's up to you. But usually the white is reserved for special occasions like the feast day, or making profession.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, you can show that again. Yeah. So it's normally a brown habit while you are out in the fields, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Some of your sisters minister to the lepers there, correct?
Yes, we have sisters at Tala, Caloocan, we say, but they don't work in the hospital. They can volunteer and visit, but they are mostly in education.
When the leadership meets here in Adrian or general chapters, we see Sister Zenaida. But could you tell us something fascinating about Sister Zenaida that we might not know?
Wow, but I think she's a very bold leader. I mean, very
unafraid.
Willing to take risks. I think. I mean, in terms of having visions. How do you call it? She has a visionary. Yeah, I think that's one of that is something that strikes me because I will be comparing my own, I mean, who I am as a person, because I tend to be more of wanting to be on the safe side, and I would not really a risk taker, because it takes great courage to,
Yes.
venture into something.
That is
But it takes, but that's the grace of God. We all, we do all rise to the occasion when it's needed.
That's been the word risk-taking has been a description of our leadership and our sisters through the years.
Oh, wow.
Sister Mary Philip wrote a beautiful paper on that, or a presentation on risk-taking throughout our our early years, as well as, first of all, changing from the habit.
Oh, okay.
That was a huge risk, of being accepted, right? Or even recognized. Amen.
Yeah, amen.
Yes. So what have you enjoyed about being on campus here?
I think it's really having conversations with the sisters and trying to know their stories. I can't know everyone in the campus, but it's really nice to share with one sister about what her ministry is or what she's doing now here. So that's very enriching for me, just getting to know the sisters. But of course, I'm also happy to be given the chance to share about the Philippines and what's happening there. And that has been this first week, we're on that, with Sister Kathy Nolan, making sure that we go to other communities that are off campus so they too can know about what's happening in the Philippines and what the Adrian Sisters are doing in the Philippines and how to respond to those situations.
How could you summarize for our sisters one of the major challenges in the country today, in the Philippines?
It will be, a challenge would be standing up, and even if you are against majority of people who might not be having the same convictions as you have, and living that out, standing for your values and those values being reflected in what you do every day. And when I say about values, it's about standing up for truth, caring for our common home, and we really feel strongly about this, trying to get everybody on board on how to care for our creation. But of course, it has to start from a personal conversion, because it's hard to advocate for things that you are not living it out by your own reality in your own house, in your own workplace. So, is
trafficking a problem in the Philippines?
It is, especially at the regions where there are on the nearby shores, because we're an island. Yes. But our involvement as a mission chapter, because we are in the Luzon part, we are in the plains, is mostly information. Trying to give information that this is human trafficking, and because we know prevention is key, and informing people, giving education about human trafficking is very important. And I think because I've attended civil society, CSO Summit we call it, that all civil society organizations come together for a meeting. Just last September of last year I attended, and I think Philippines is on tier 1. And that's I think it's how do you call it? It's a rating that they say that we have good systems in place to stop or minimize human trafficking.
Oh my, wonderful! Congratulations.
But we just have to sustain that.
Yes, yes. Well, education is key, is it not? Yes, yes. Of all the people you've met during your lifetime, does any one person, living or deceased, in the community or not, stay in your heart as an inspiration or being so fascinated by their life?
I think all the sisters in the community, but I would have a special regard or mention Sister Vanji. I think she's one of the 5 or 4 sisters who were here when the nucleus community was just being formed, and she's still with us now in the Philippines, and a wisdom person in the community.
So she's the wisdom woman.
Yes. Well, I think...
and the carrier of the history. Yes.
And she's doing marvelously. A gracious sister who have been helping also the young ones, the sisters who are just new in the community to
Do you know her age?
Yes, she's 85. She was 85 She's 85 last April.
Oh my. And your age?
37.
Are you one of the youngest sisters?
No. We have sisters, 26, I think, 28.
And are there any in formation right now?
Yes, some of them are in the junior level, and the other one, the youngest, she's 26. She's in her first year novitiate. Mm-hmm.
And were you were already in the congregation, I would imagine, in formation, when Sister Rose Ann Schlitt came to...
And I think she was there for a year, almost a year, when we were anticipating what will come out from the merger process. And it, if my memory serves me right, November 2011, when it all became official, she was still there with us. And actually, Sister Rose Ann is quite... because she was there during our first profession, back in July 2011. Yes. And we were not yet formally one then. She was already there.
Oh, how nice. And
sister, and we have Sister Marcine coming over the years.
Well, I think she would live there if she could bring her little dog with her. But to have Sister Roseanne there during the time of questioning of what this meant for your sisters, the merge I'm talking about. Yes, that was a gift. That was a gift.
Yes, I think, and we had this one session of talking about her input about diversity, because that's something that we all have to deal with as merging with one another. She gave this one presentation about cultural differences. That's one of the things I remember. Because there have been a series of, she would have talks with, for instance, the sisters in the formation regarding the Constitution.
Yes. Yeah.
Along this, and there would be some other conversations regarding governance and how the structures work and something like that.
In general, in the Philippines, what is the role of the woman? Is she considered equal with the male counterpart?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
I believe that we are now living in an empowered world where women, and not just in the religious sector, but even with the families. I mean, both are working, and sometimes it's even the woman who is a breadwinner for the family. But I think there might have been other views, especially those who still feel
lower.
That they are but I would say the women can stand their ground and fight for their rights. And if others are not doing that, women are helping them, these other women, to help them be more empowered.
Well, I have a sense that you live that yourself.
Yes.
I can hear it in your voice and in your face. You have a beautiful, beautiful countenance. So that anyone who crosses your path is quite, what should I say, privileged. What is your hope now for the congregation? As you know.
Yeah, for our congregation, I think continue the mission that we are doing now, because it's diverse for all the sisters, and also to intensify our commitment to be in solidarity with the people in the margins, wherever we are, whether it be here in the Americas or in the Philippines or Dominican Republic or whatever place where we have a presence. And who knows, we might be venturing in other places where we are not there yet at the moment, and be of service to more people.
Would you say, Sister Evangie, would be like our sisters here who are retired or ill and living in the Dominican Lives Center?
I would guess so, but of course, age-wise, yes. But she still has, she can still go to mass.
Yeah,
she's
like
healthy.
our sisters.
And she goes to the garden once in a while to, yes, yes, pretty much. But of course, there will be limitations and she herself is recognizing those limitations, what they are, and when to really slow down.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But she's very much into it. She's with us during the prayers, during meal times. She makes it a point that she have conversations with the sisters coming over at the mother house, especially those who do not live near the mother house.
One last question. Does she have gray hair?
Yes. Much like yours.
Thank you so much, Antonette.
Thank you, Sister.
Besides having a beautiful name, you're a beautiful presence. God bless you.
Thank you.